Welcome to our comprehensive journey through the Indian higher education system. In this video, we'll explore the evolution of higher learning in India, from its ancient roots to the modern reforms of NEP 2020. We'll cover the major institutions, key policies, and the diverse learning programs that have shaped Indian education. Whether you're preparing for UGC NET or simply curious about how India became a global knowledge hub, this series will give you a clear, structured overview. Let's begin by understanding the foundations of higher education in ancient India and how those traditions continue to influence the system today. Education in ancient India dates back to the 3rd century BC, with a system deeply rooted in religious and philosophical traditions. Sages and scholars imparted knowledge orally, using palm leaves and tree bark for writing. Both formal and informal education existed, with learning taking place at home in temples and in institutions like pathshalas and gurukuls. Temples served as centers of learning, guiding young minds in pious living and traditional knowledge. Students seeking higher learning traveled to viharas and universities, laying the groundwork for India's reputation as a center of knowledge. Ancient Indian education system was built on strong philosophical foundations. The Vedas, considered the oldest literature in the world, shaped the philosophy of life and culture in India. Upanishads, Smritis, and Puranas all acknowledge the Vedas' supremacy. These texts emphasize the ephemerality of life, the pursuit of ultimate truth, and the importance of moral values. The educational tradition was guided by these principles, focusing on holistic development and spiritual growth alongside intellectual learning. Four Vedas, Rigveda, Samhiveda, Yajurveda, and Atharvaveda, are the bedrock of ancient Indian knowledge. They not only provide spiritual guidance but also influence literature, science, and culture. Studying the Vedas offered a comprehensive understanding of life and the universe. Their teachings permeated every aspect of society, shaping the values and educational practices that would define Indian civilization for centuries to come. Gurukula system was the hallmark of ancient Indian education. Students, known as Sishyas, lived with their guru in a residential setting, regardless of social background. This immersive environment fostered close bonds and personalized learning. The curriculum emphasized oral transmission, memorization, and disciplined living. The Upanayana ceremony marked a student's initiation, and brahmacharya or celibacy was compulsory for residential pupils. Gurukulas, parishads, and samolans formed the core institutions of this era. Vedic education relied on two main teaching methods: oral recitation and chintan or reflective thinking. The guru would recite lessons, and students committed them to memory through repeated listening. Admission was formalized by the Upanayana ceremony, and strict discipline was maintained. The focus was on holistic development, intellectual, moral, and spiritual. This approach ensured that students not only gained knowledge but also developed character and life skills. Following the Vedic period, the Sutra and epic eras introduced new educational frameworks. Dharmasutras outlined rules for social conduct and duties for teachers and students. Education became more structured, with a focus on summarizing vast Vedic knowledge in manageable forms. This period also saw the emergence of epics like the Mahabharata and Ramayana, which became important educational texts, teaching values, ethics, and history. Buddhist era marked a shift towards character building and practical learning. Education aimed at purity of character and spreading Buddhist teachings. Monasteries or viharas became centers of higher learning, attracting students from across Asia. Subjects ranged from religion and philosophy to medicine and military science. Notable centers like Takshashila and Nalanda gained international fame, drawing students from China, Korea, and beyond. Takshashila or Taxila was a renowned center of learning in ancient India, situated near present-day Pakistan. It attracted students globally for centuries, offering studies in religion, philosophy, medicine, and more. Famous scholars like Chanakya and Panini studied here. The university's influence was so significant that UNESCO declared its ruins a World Heritage Site. Takshashila set the standard for higher education, blending academic rigor with spiritual growth. Nalanda University, located in Bihar, was a premier center for Buddhist studies from the 5th to 12th century CE. It housed over 10,000 students and 2,000 professors, with a 9-story library and rigorous entrance exams. Nalanda taught a wide range of subjects, including fine arts, medicine, and astronomy. Its international reputation attracted scholars like H. Suan Tsang from China. Despite its destruction in the 12th century, Nalanda's legacy endures as a symbol of Indian intellectual achievement. Vallabhi and Vikramshila were two other significant universities during the Buddhist period. Vallabhi in western India rivaled Nalanda in fame and specialized in secular subjects. Vikramshila, established by Emperor Dharampala, focused on philosophy, logic, and Tantra Shastra. Both institutions attracted students from across India and beyond, contributing to the rich tapestry of ancient Indian higher education. Mithila, Odantapuri, and Samapura were prominent centers of learning, each with unique contributions. Mithila excelled in logic and jurisprudence, Odantapuri housed 1,000 monks and students, and Samapura was a major hub for Buddhism, Jainism, and Hinduism. These institutions fostered intellectual exchange and cultural development, further cementing India's status as a global knowledge center. Nadia, also known as Navadweep, became a leading center for Hindu culture and education after the decline of Nalanda and Vikramshila. It offered studies in literature, fine arts, and scientific subjects, with students sometimes studying for up to 20 years. Nadia's reputation for academic excellence attracted scholars from all over India, ensuring the continuity of traditional learning. After India's independence, the higher education system underwent significant transformation. The Radhakrishnan Commission 1948-49 was the first to assess university education and recommend improvements. Its most notable suggestion led to the creation of the University Grants Commission, UGC, in 1956, ensuring coordination and standardization across universities. This period marked the beginning of modern reforms in Indian higher education. Several commissions shaped post-independence education. The Secondary Education Commission, Mudalir Commission, 1952, focused on reorganizing secondary education. The Kathari Commission, 1964-66, became the blueprint for educational reform, emphasizing science, technology, and human values. The Ramamurthy Review Committee, 1990, reviewed the national policy on education, recommending further policy revisions for a more humane and enlightened society. Indian education includes a mix of Oriental, conventional, and non-conventional learning programs. Oriental education emphasizes listening, reflection, and application, with institutions like the Adyar Library and Asiatic Society leading the way. Conventional teaching is teacher-centered and passive, while non-conventional methods promote active, student-driven learning. This diversity ensures that students can choose paths that best suit their learning styles and goals. India's higher education system includes a robust framework for professional, technical, and skill-based education. Statutory and regulatory bodies like the UGC, AICTE, NCTE, and MCI oversee standards and curriculum. These organizations ensure that institutions maintain quality and relevance, preparing students for careers in teaching, engineering, medicine, law, and more. This multi-layered approach supports India's growing workforce needs. Several apex bodies govern higher education in India. The National Assessment and Accreditation Council, NAAC, and National Board of Accreditation, NBA, ensure quality through rigorous evaluation. The UGC coordinates university standards, while the NCERT oversees school curriculum. Other bodies like CBSE, CIC, and NIO manage school-level education, ensuring a seamless transition from school to higher education. NAAC, established in 1994, accredits universities and colleges based on 7 criteria, including curriculum, teaching, research, and infrastructure. Institutions receive grades from A to D, reflecting their quality and performance. Accreditation is mandatory, ensuring that students receive education from reputable institutions. NAAC's rigorous process drives continuous improvement and accountability in higher education. MBA, initially under AICTE, became autonomous in 2010. It evaluates technical and professional programs, ensuring they meet industry standards. The accreditation process includes a self-assessment report, on-site evaluation, and assignment of accreditation status. Programs must score at least 750 points and 60% in each criterion to be fully accredited, promoting excellence in technical education. UGC, established in 1956, coordinates and maintains standards in university education. It provides grants, advises governments, and ensures that institutions meet national benchmarks. With regional offices across India, the UGC plays a central role in shaping higher education policy and supporting the growth of universities and colleges nationwide. CERT, founded in 1961, is the apex body for school curriculum and teacher training. It develops textbooks, educational kits, and digital resources and conducts research to improve school education. NCERT's regional institutes ensure that educational reforms reach every corner of India, supporting both teachers and students in their learning journeys. CBSE, CISE, and NIO are key boards governing school education in India. CBSE conducts national exams for classes 10 and 12, while CISE manages ICSE and IC exams. NIOS provides flexible learning options for students unable to attend regular schools, offering vocational and academic courses at various levels. Together, these boards ensure inclusive and accessible education for all. National Council for Teacher Education, NCTE, and All India Council for Technical Education, AICTE, regulate teacher and technical education respectively. NCTE sets standards for teacher training, while AICTE oversees technical institutions, ensuring quality and accountability. These councils play a vital role in preparing educators and professionals for India's evolving needs. Indian Council of Agricultural Research, ICAR, and All India Management Association, AIMA, oversee agricultural and management education. ICAR funds research and supports agricultural universities, while AIMA promotes management education and professional development. These bodies ensure that India's workforce is equipped with the skills needed for economic growth and innovation. Bar Council of India, BCI, and Medical Council of India, MCI, regulate legal and medical education. BCI sets standards for law degrees and conducts the All India Bar Examination. MCI prescribes minimum standards for medical education and recognizes qualifications. These councils ensure that professionals in law and medicine meet rigorous ethical and academic standards. Institutes like the Central Hindi Directorate (CHD), Central Institute of Educational Technology (CIET), and Central Institute of Indian Languages (CIIL) promote language development and educational technology. These organizations develop resources, conduct research, and support teacher training, ensuring that education is accessible in multiple languages and through modern technology. India's education landscape includes many specialized institutes, such as the Film and Television Institute of India (FTTI), Indian Institute of Science (IISc), and Indian Space Research Organisation (ISRO). These institutions focus on advanced research, creative arts, and scientific innovation, contributing to India's global reputation in diverse fields. Value education is central to India's educational philosophy. It aims to develop positive attitudes, abilities, and behaviors, fostering honesty, kindness, tolerance, and compassion. National policies emphasize the cultivation of moral and spiritual values, promoting unity and integration in a culturally diverse society. Value education prepares students to be responsible, ethical citizens. Values in education can be national, social, professional, or religious. National values are enshrined in the Constitution, while social values reflect cultural traditions, Professional values guide conduct in various careers, and religious values promote wisdom and character. Together, these values shape the holistic development of students, preparing them for life's challenges. Environmental education empowers learners to understand and address environmental challenges. It promotes awareness, knowledge, attitudes, skills, and participation for sustainable development. By fostering ecological awareness and community partnerships, environmental education prepares students to contribute to a sustainable future and improve quality of life. Main objectives of environmental education are to raise awareness, build knowledge, foster positive attitudes, develop problem-solving skills, and encourage active participation. Students learn to evaluate environmental measures and programs, considering social, economic, and ecological factors. This holistic approach ensures that future generations are equipped to protect the planet. Environmental education is now closely linked to sustainable development. International agreements like Agenda 21 and the Rio Declaration have emphasized the need to reorient education towards sustainability. In India, policies and programs reflect this commitment, promoting environmental conservation and responsible citizenship through education. Constitution of India is the supreme law, establishing the framework for governance and citizens' rights. It includes provisions for education ensuring equality, freedom, and protection against discrimination. The Constitution draws from various international sources reflecting ideals of justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. Education is recognized as a fundamental right, essential for personal and national development. Constitution originally provided 7 fundamental rights, including the right to equality, freedom, and education. Article 21A guarantees free and compulsory education for children aged 6–14. Other articles ensure non-discrimination, protection of minorities, and special provisions for disadvantaged groups. These rights form the backbone of India's commitment to inclusive and equitable education. Education is recognized as a fundamental human right in international law, including the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and various UN conventions. Organizations like UNESCO, UNICEF, and the World Bank work globally to promote access to quality education. India's policies align with these international commitments, ensuring that every child has the opportunity to learn and grow. National Education Policy, NEP, 2020 marks a major shift in Indian higher education. It aims to raise the gross enrollment ratio to 50% by 2035, add 3.5 crore seats, and introduce flexible undergraduate programs with multiple entry and exit options. The policy emphasizes multidisciplinary education, research, and the use of technology, setting the stage for a modern, inclusive, and globally competitive education system. NEP 2020 introduces the Academic Bank of Credits, allowing students to transfer credits between institutions. Multidisciplinary education and research universities, MERUs, will be established, matching global standards like IITs and IIMs. These innovations promote flexibility, mobility, and excellence in higher education, empowering students to design their own academic journeys. National Research Foundation will foster a strong research culture, while the Higher Education Commission of India (HECI) will serve as a single regulatory body. HECI will have 4 verticals: regulation, standard setting, funding, and accreditation. This unified approach streamlines governance and ensures consistent quality across public and private institutions. Under NEP 2020, undergraduate students can exit after 1, 2, 3, or 4 years, receiving a certificate, advanced diploma, bachelor's degree, or bachelor's with research, respectively. Credits are stored digitally, enabling students to resume studies at any time. This flexibility accommodates diverse learning needs and life circumstances, making higher education more accessible. NEP 2020 envisions phasing out the system of college affiliation over 15 years, granting graded autonomy to institutions. Colleges will become either autonomous degree-granting institutions or constituent colleges of universities. This reform encourages innovation, accountability, and quality improvement, fostering a more dynamic higher education landscape. Policy emphasizes the use of technology to enhance teaching, learning, and administration. Online and digital education will be expanded, with a dedicated unit for digital infrastructure and content. Open and distance learning (ODL) will be strengthened, and MOOCs will be recognized for credit. The National Educational Technology Forum (NETF) will facilitate the exchange of ideas and best practices. NEP 2020 introduces a gender inclusion fund and special education zones to promote equitable access for girls, transgender students, and disadvantaged groups. The policy aims to eliminate barriers and ensure that all students, regardless of background, have the opportunity to pursue higher education and achieve their potential. NEP 2020 is organized into 4 parts: school education, higher education, other key areas, and implementation. Each part addresses critical aspects like curriculum, teacher training, equity, research, technology, and governance. This comprehensive approach ensures that reforms are holistic, sustainable, and responsive to the needs of a rapidly changing world. India's higher education system has evolved from ancient gurukuls and world-renowned universities to a modern, technology-driven landscape. With the implementation of NEP 2020, the focus is on flexibility, inclusivity, and global standards. As India continues to innovate and adapt, its education system is poised to empower future generations, drive economic growth, and maintain its legacy as a global knowledge leader. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history and future of Indian higher education.